students, welcome to the online education of class 7 science. So dear students, in the previous class we were discussing about the lesson winds, storms and cyclones. Okay, so we have completed about the winds, storms and cyclones, thunderstorms, cyclones. Okay, so how these can happen and what are the different ways to be safer, okay, when the cyclone hits the cyclone prone areas such as coastal areas. So in our country, eastern coast as well as western coast. Okay, so dear students, we have completed the lesson so far. So today let me go ahead with the exercise part of this lesson, winds, storms and cyclones. Okay, so let me read out the question answers. So first we will go for the exercise part. In that, let me read the first fill in the blanks. Wind is dash air. Yes, so as you know that wind is dash air. Which air? Moving air. So what we call it as wind? So wind is nothing but it's a moving air, right? So second question is, winds are generated due to the dash heating on the earth. Due to which heating on the earth the winds are generated? So winds are generated due to the uneven heating on the earth. Uneven heating means the heating of the place on the earth, regions of the earth will not be the same. So on the seaside, or the maybe in the sea, land side, or maybe in the equatorial region, maybe on the polar region. So uneven heating leads to the winds generation, okay, due to the uneven heating on the earth. Third one, near the earth's surface dash air rises up whereas dash air comes down. Yes, it's quite simple. Near the earth's surface warm air rises up always, whereas the cold air comes down always. So last one, air moves from a region of dash pressure to a region of dash pressure. Okay, so air always moves from a region of higher pressure to region of a lower pressure. Okay, as we know that it's a simple. So as the water moves from higher place to lower place, so like that the air also moves from higher region of higher pressure to region of lower pressure. So now let's go for the question answers. Okay, question number 2 now. So suggest two methods to find out which wind direction at a given place. Yes, simple question here. So what do you mean? This question is, so you have to suggest any two methods wherein you have to find in which direction the wind is blowing at a given place. Means you have to find out, so which direction the wind is blowing. You cannot see, you cannot get, no, it is not visible that the air is blowing in this direction. You can say the vehicle is moving from this side to this side, but you cannot say the wind is blowing from this side to this side. You can just feel it. So how can you prove that one? So there are two methods here. So the first one is, so you all must have enjoyed flying with a kite, right? So in our school also we would conduct the kite flying competition every year. Yes, so this year we have lost it, right? So whatever it is, so when we fly a kite, so air exerts pressure on the kite. Okay, is it not? So whenever the kite is flied, so when you fly a kite, so what happens here? While flying a kite, the air exerts pressure on the kite, so due to which the kite flies. So because of the pressure exerted by the air on the kite, so the kite starts flying. It starts flies. Okay, it flies there. Okay, so the direction in which the kite flies, in which direction a kite is flying, no, so that is the direction of blowing up the wind. Okay, in which direction the kite starts flying, that direction is the direction of the blowing up the wind. Understood? So question number 2. So while riding a bicycle, you all have much familiar with this riding a bicycle, and it's one of the most important interested activity for you, right? So when you ride a bicycle, the direction in which it is very difficult to ride. Okay, see, when you're riding on the bicycle, so you might have experienced both. Okay, when you are experiencing, no, see, sometimes wind is blowing, so it becomes very easier for you people to move your vehicle in such a speed because wind is blowing from your back, so that it pushes you forward. So that when you are riding a bicycle, suppose you feel the situation in which it is very difficult for you people to ride the bicycle. It is very difficult for you because it is the opposite direction in which the wind is blowing. The direction of the wind blowing is opposite direction, hence it opposes your movement. Okay, so this is what the two examples to in which you can find out in which direction wind is blowing. Let's go for the question number 3. So name any two, state any two experiences that you made that you think that the air exerts pressure other than the examples which are given in the textbook. See, you have to tell any two of your experiences wherein you found that the air exerts pressure. So to prove that air exerts pressure, you have to give any two any experiences of yours. Simple. So we have an experience that when you blow a balloon, see, you all have done this during any festival or your birthday celebrations. So what do? You bring some balloons, you start blowing the wind into the air into the balloons, right? So at that time what happens here, the balloon becomes tight. Okay, as you go on blowing inside, so more and more it starts increasing the size, so it becomes tight and tight. So if you go on increasing, you putting the giving the blowing the balloon air into the balloon, so finally, so if you try to add more and more air into it, try to fill the more and more air into it, so automatically the balloon will burst off after some time. Even same thing with the tires. So if you go on filling more and more in the tires, air in the tires, so tires burst. Okay, so same thing happens here. So this happens because the air exerts pressure. See, if not, if the air does not exert the pressure, how much ever you go on filling the air, the balloon increases, the tire increases in size. So they have some limitation up to that pressure the air that material can have, can uh, just you can, it can maintain. So after some pressure, exerting pressure of the air, after some more and more pressure is exerted, so it cannot, so it burst off. So that is one thing. And we also have experienced that the movement of the fringes of the windows and doors of our houses when wind blows in a high speed. See, when wind is blown at a very high speed, so what happens here, the movement of fringes of our windows and doors, fringes of the windows as well as doors, so automatically what happens here, they show movement. Okay, when the wind blows in a very high speed, so fringes of our windows and doors both show the movement. Okay, so this also happens because of the due to the air exerts pressure. And question number 4, now let's go for that. So you want to buy a house, would you like to buy a house having windows but no ventilators? Explain your answer. See, suppose you are buying a house, but you want to have a buy a house with only the windows but no ventilators. So can you purchase it? Is it good for you? Yes, you should think of this. Now see, the house having the windows but no ventilators should not be bought by you. Why it is so? Because this is because you know that always the warm air rises up and cold air cools down, it comes down. Okay, always the warm air is lighter than the cold air. Okay, hence therefore the warm air always rises up or goes up. So if this warm air is rising up, so there should be, they can go out of the outside of your house only through the ventilators. If you have no ventilators for the warm air which is raised up or goes up, which has gone up to go out of your house, so if you do not have any ventilators, if there are no ventilators in the house, only windows are there, so the warm air cannot go out of your house, so you feel very warm in the house. So hence you must have windows as well as ventilators in the house. That's why you just check it out, in your homes you will have windows as well as ventilators. Dear students, let me stop here at this moment exercise part. Let me continue the remaining part of the exercise in tomorrow's class. So I hope you have understood. Write down these question answers in your exercise part properly. So I hope you have understood this, right? Any doubts, you can put individually messages. Any doubts regarding these question answers, let me know. Thank you and have a nice day.